Jim, you predicted it was going to be a battle, and that's exactly what transpired.
Yeah, I mean, look, we know how Morton want to play the game. Very physical, good experience within the group, right through the spine of that team there with Broadfoot, Power, Oakley up top. You're going to be in for a battle, and you've got to win those individual battles. And unfortunately today, we didn't do that, and that's what's cost us the game. The goals against are really poor from our point of view. For as good as we have been all season defensively, we didn't manage those situations well enough. The first one, a long ball punted up the pitch. Could argue that George Oakley is not looking at the ball. He's just made a beeline for Ross Graham, and by the letter of the law, if he's not concerned about the ball and he's just focused on distracting the defender, then possibly that could have been a foul. But I still think we should be a bit more aggressive ourselves in that instant. And the third one, it's just another 70-yard kick up the park from the goalkeeper, and Oakley, does what you would want in a aggressive number 9, but we've got to defend that situation better as well. Holty knows that. He's been outstanding for us all season, but he's just not been aggressive enough. And it's a hell of a finish from Oakley to go and win the game for Morton, but just an extremely disappointing afternoon. Given the last couple of performances, here against Partick, really good, solid 3-0 win, away to Arbroath, different circumstances, but another good, convincing victory, and we were wanting to go and add to that, and unfortunately today we just didn't do enough.
It must add to the frustration that we showed such great character to get back into the game so quickly just before the break.
Look, as disappointed we were with the 2 goals and to find ourselves a couple behind, the reaction was a positive one, and the players deserve a lot of credit for that. The first goal I thought was a really well worked goal, worked it from the middle of the pitch out to the right hand side. It's a terrific ball in from Grimshaw, and a really good header from Kai. I think that's Kai's 11th for the season in all competitions. And the second one, a good quick throw in. Tony does really well in the 1v1. Dinks a lovely ball up to Louis Moult, and a brilliant header. And we were delighted to go in level pegging at half time. We had to make a couple of changes at half time. Obviously Tilson had been booked, and we wanted to add a bit of freshness in there in the middle of the park. Moulty unfortunately just was feeling his hamstring with about 15 minutes to go in the first half, so we couldn't risk him on, and that could become something more serious. I'm hoping that we took him off in enough time that he'll be able to recover in time for Friday night's game. But we went with the 3 in the middle of the park, tried to get Glassy and Mockery involved on the ball and try and overload that middle of the pitch. And I thought for the opening 10-15 minutes of the first half we were very positive and got into some really good areas. There are 1 or 2 big talking points, and I know it may seem like sour grapes from me. I'm taking nothing away from Dougie Imrie and his players, but at 2 each, we've got a stonewall penalty that, for me, I just cannot understand how that decision can go against us and a free kick be awarded to Morton. Kirk Broadfoot, a good, experienced, aggressive centre back, but Kevin Holt has just nicked a little half a yard on him. Broadfoot's got his arms all over Holty, and actually fell on top of Kevin when they went to the ground. And how the referee can see that the other way is, it's really hard to take. And that's an opportunity at 2 each to go 3-2 in front. And had we got our noses in front, then I'm very confident we would have went on and won the game.
It's quite similar to the last time Morton were here. The quality of the game essentially just got lost in the rough and tumble.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Morton do, and that type of team, and they've had good success with it recently. I think they've won 5 of their last 7 league games, unbeaten in 7 with a couple of draws in there. So, they're good at what they do. You know that you're going to have to defend the box. You know that the ball is going to be lumped forward early. You've got to do the basics well. You've got to compete for that first ball, pick up seconds in the middle of the pitch. When they transition out of possession, they're very good at getting a deep low block and getting lots of bodies in there and making it difficult to find space. And they defend their box really, really well. But at 2-2 going into them latter stages, we shouldn't concede that third goal in the manner that we did. And had we only drew the game 2 each, we'd have still been majorly disappointed. But it's a sore one for us to take. It's our second defeat in the league up to now, but it's the manner in which we've lost those goals that I think is the most frustrating part.
Obviously missing Ross Docherty at the moment, but we're going to be without Craig Sibbald for next week. What was your view on that red card?
Listen, another really poor decision, and I think when the referee has a chance to watch it back, and hopefully they will, hopefully Crawford Allen, the head of referees, will sit down and look at those key moments that I'm talking about and get an explanation from the referee, and hopefully there'll be learnings from it, because Craig Sibbald does that part of the game so well in terms of breaking things up in the middle of the pitch. He's been outstanding for us all season, one of our most consistent performers, I would say. And our analyst has slowed it down and showed me exactly what's happened, and Craig has clearly got a toe on the ball, changed the trajectory of the ball, and a foul is awarded against us, and Craig is given a second yellow and will now face suspension, unfortunately.
Frustrating afternoon, obviously, but do you take a slight crumb of comfort from the fact that we've not lost any ground at the top of the league?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at that both ways. Maybe we've got away with one today because Wraith Rovers have dropped points too, but we're kind of viewing it the other way. It's a missed opportunity for us. Had we taken a point or all 3 points, then of course we would have found ourselves back on top with a win, and obviously would have narrowed the gap had we got the point. So no, it's a really, really disappointing afternoon for us, and we've not had too many of these. We've had 2 really good performances recently, and we were hoping to build on that, but we're not going to let this derail the good work that we have done up to now. There will be lessons to be learned, and we'll have to manage those situations that I've highlighted better in the future, but we need to bounce back on Friday night, and that's what we aim to do.